Hey, what's up users? This is John from Muse for You, here to help you build awesome websites without code. And in this video tutorial, I'm going to go over the new update to the responsive full screen video widget. You can now add the video as a video cover over the website, and you can add your own custom play and pause buttons. So I have an example website here of the full screen video as a video cover. So we have the video here, and once you scroll, you see the rest of the website. So here we have the video, and I can resize it up here, and we can see it's fully responsive. And once it gets to a certain width in the browser, or reaches a certain breakpoint, we see the play button here. So if I were to refresh, we have the play button, and then we can control the video via a play button. And this is very useful for tablet and mobile devices, because tablet and mobile devices do not play videos automatically. And this is to save data and bandwidth, because someone on a phone or tablet might be using data from their service provider. Like if you're on a phone, you're probably using data from your service provider if you're not connected to Wi-Fi. So these devices made it so the videos don't play automatically and use up all that data and bandwidth when downloading the video onto that device. So with this widget, the user now has the option to manually play the video once it reaches a certain breakpoint or reaches a certain size for smaller devices. And the other thing with the new update is that you can now customize where you'd like to place this play and pause button vertically within the video on the website. So this can be lower or higher within the video. So here we have it on the highest breakpoint. We can see that that play button disappears, and then when it gets to a lower breakpoint, we have the play and pause button here, and it pauses and plays the video. So it's really useful because I have been asked that question a lot, like, why isn't my video playing automatically on my mobile device? Well, that's because they're not allowed to really play on, smaller devices like mobile devices. So this is an alternative. You can now have a play button for those devices, so the user can decide, okay, I do want to see this video, so I'm going to hit the play button and play the video. So I'll get right into it. In this video, I'm going to show how to use the widget and the new updates. So I'm going to go into Adobe Muse, and right away, I'm going to go into my library panel to add the widget. So I'm going to go into my library panel. If you don't see the library panel, you can go to Window and click on Library. And here I'll type in responsive full screen to get the responsive full screen video widget. It is now 1.2, so it's not 1.1, it is now 1.2. So I'll click, hold, and drag and place onto my Adobe Muse website. All right, so here we have the widget, and you don't need to stretch out this widget here. This is, once the widget is placed, it places the full screen video in. I have seen where some have kind of stretched this widget here, the widget cover, to kind of fill the entire website. You don't need to do that. You can just place this widget here on the side of the website, and it already adds the video to the website. But you do need to add the video. So here we have the widget options. We have MP4, WebM, and OGV, and a poster image. It's recommended to add at least an MP4 video, because if we go to caniuse.com, we'll notice that most browsers now support MP4. So if I write MP4, we can see that almost all browsers support MP4 except Opera Mini, which I'm not sure how many people use Opera Mini, but if we type in WebM, nope, Opera Mini doesn't support WebM. How about OGV? So Opera Mini does not support video, so you can just not use Opera Mini. I never used Opera Mini. I use Opera, and we can see Opera works really well. So we can see a lot of green for MP4 video. So it's recommended to add at least an MP4 video. If you did want fallback support, you could with WebM and OGV, but as we can see, MP4 is supported for browsers that go even further back, like Firefox 49 supports MP4, and Chrome really, almost all the versions up to like 49 support MP4. So it has great support. So an MP4 video is recommended. You can add WebM and OGV for fallback if you'd like as well. And then for poster image, it's recommended to add a poster image so that the website doesn't become blank if the video doesn't automatically play. So instead, like let's say on a mobile device or tablet, instead of having the video be blank, it'll be the image, the poster image. And then here's a new update. You can now fix it in the browser, which means it wouldn't scroll with the website, or you could have it just as a video cover. So I'm going to go ahead and add video so we can see a better demonstration of this. So here I'll click on add file, and then I have this video of a lighthouse, so I'll double click on the MP4. And if you did want to convert to the other formats, there's a really great video converter called Miro Video Converter, and I'll leave a link to it in the description area below. You can download it and convert your video to different formats. So here I have the video of the lighthouse. So for instance, if I wanted to convert it to WebM and OGV, I could just click, hold, and drag, place it in there. And then in format, I have video. I can do WebM HD, so it's a higher quality WebM, and OGG Theora, and that will convert it to OGV as well. So I'll leave a link to that in the show more section below, in case you did want to convert your video files. For the ultimate video widget, you do need all 3 widgets, so this is a great converter for that. All right, so let me just close this here, and then I'll go here. So I'm gonna go ahead, we've added the MP4, I'm just gonna add an MP4 for this one, and I'm not gonna have it fixed in the browser. So let me go to File, Preview Page in Browser. We can see we already have the video. It's just that simple. So let me add some text. Let me open that previous website to add that text in there. Okay, so here's the text from the sample website. So I'm just gonna copy this. So I'm gonna hit Command C to copy, and I'm gonna go here and I'll hit Command V to paste. So here we have the text, and the text can go right here at the top, because picture the video like right above the website. So the video is actually right above here, and once you scroll, there'll be this amount of space. So let me bring it down lower. So there'll be this amount of space, and then we'll see the text. So I'll go ahead and preview, and this is just lorem ipsum text. It doesn't make any sense, but it's just text as kind of a placeholder. So now I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser. And as I scroll, we can see the text appears right below the video. So this could be a really nice video cover, like you want to, showcase your idea or product, or whatever you want to showcase in a video. And then when the user scrolls, we have the rest of the website. Let's say you didn't want to have the text below the video. You could just go into the widget and click on Fixed in Browser, just like that. Then I'll preview there. And we can see the text is over the video. Here, I'd probably make the text white because the video is a bit darker. So let's look at that. And there we have it. It doesn't look great, so I might not have text over the video, but it is an option if you did want that. There, I'm gonna make it black again. And we're not gonna say fixed in browser. Remember, fixed in browser means the video will not scroll, and it'll be more like a background video. If we don't have fixed in browser, the website will appear below the video once the user scrolls. And I do like smooth fonts, so I'm going to bring in the font smoother. All right, let's make it really smooth. All right, so I went over the fixed in browser, and this option here, this is a new option in the 1.2 update. With the overlay, all I did with the overlay was put patternify.com here instead of down here in the widget, so you can easily access it. So let's say you did want a pattern overlay, you could click on Enable Mesh Overlay, then I'll go to patternify.com, and I'll just find, I'll just use this pattern here, copy the base 64 code by hitting Command C, go into the widget, go into overlay, and hit Command V to paste, and enter. So now we'll have a mesh overlay over the video, just like that. I don't know how good it looks as I'm recording the video over a video, but it does have a mesh overlay on it. So let me take the mesh overlay off here. Let me close this here for now. All right, so we did overlay. You could have an overlay color by enabling color overlay, setting the color and the opacity. And the play button, this is a really great feature that has been updated. You can now add a custom play and pause button, and actually in the widget now is the default play and pause button that we're used to seeing with this widget. So I'll go to the widget folder. Okay, so here's the widget folder, and here we can see the play.png and the pause.png. So if you did want to use these default icons here, you could. So I'll just go ahead and do that. So first, let me do enable play button on tablet and mobile. So this does have to be checked if you want that play button on tablet and mobile. And then you can set the breakpoint here. I have it set to 768. So once the browser width reaches 768, we'll see the play and pause button. So for what a device is 768 pixels or lower in width, that play and pause button will appear. So I'll preview and I'll resize the browser. Oh, we don't see anything. We see this little icon here, which is not really what I'm looking for. It's kind of like a broken image icon there. So what we want to do is go into the widget, go to the play button, and here it says select a play button image. So I'll go to add file, and then I'll find the widget folder. So when you download the widget, you'll unzip it, and then you'll have the widget folder. And then here we have the play.png, so I'll double click. And then we have the play icon, and then we can select a pause button image. So I'll click add file, and I'll select the pause.png. And both of those files are in the widget folder. So yeah, again, unzip, and you'll find those files in the widget folder. So now if I preview again in the browser, we now have the play button. I can play and pause the video just like that with those icons. And you'll notice if you first start the video, let's say on at a width that's greater than 768 pixels, and you resize, it's not going to play or pause the video because the widget isn't registering. The widget first registered and said, okay, the browser is greater than 768. So even if you resize it, I'm not going to really change it because you're just resizing the browser. But if it starts off at less than 768, the browser width, the widget knows, or it says, okay, the device width is less than 768 pixels. Let's make the play and pause button work here for this device. So now if I press play, it'll play. And if I press pause, it'll pause the video. All right. And here it works really well on mobile device. Let's say you're on an iPhone, an iOS device. It will kind of go into the full screen version of it, and then you click done, and then it'll go back to the website. But if the user is on a smaller device, even like a smaller computer, this is a nice function as well. All right, so there we have the play and pause button. So let's say you want a custom play and pause button. So I'm gonna go into my Finder here, and I downloaded this Adobe stock file, and it has different icons of play and pause buttons. So I'm just gonna style a few play and pause buttons and then save it as PNG and add it to the widget. So here I have my play and pause buttons. So I'm gonna copy this one. I'm gonna hit Command C to copy. Then I'm gonna create a new artboard. So I'll say 100 pixels by 100 pixels. I'll click create, and then I'll paste that right in there. And we can make it a little bit larger. So I'll make it 80 pixels by 80 pixels, and I'll make sure it's centered in the artboard. So now I want to change this color of this icon here. So I'm going to right click and ungroup. So we just select this background here. I'm going to go into my CC libraries, and I'm going to add my colors here that I like. So I'll click there. Let me just do that like that. So I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to right click, add to swatches. And now I have those colors available. So I'm going to click on this background here. I'm going to go into my gradient panel here in Illustrator. If you don't see the gradient panel, you can go to Window and click on Gradient to bring it up. And I'm going to give it a linear gradient, and I'm going to change the colors to some Muse for You colors here, just like that. And then I'll change the degrees maybe to like 120, and that looks good. That's a nice play button. So now I'll go to File, Export, Save for Web. Make sure the transparency is set here, and then I'll click Save, and then I'll save it to the images folder here. So I'll say play button. Okay, and then I'll do the same with the pause button. So we have this pause button here. Hit Command C to copy, go to File, New, click Create, Paste. I'll change the size to 80 by 80. Make sure it's centered within the artboard. Right click, ungroup, click on this background here, click on gradient. I'll say linear, and I'm not sure if I have access to those colors again, so I have to go to my CC libraries. And let me make sure I'm clicked out. Select all of these colors, right click, add to swatches, go to my gradient, and then I'll change the gradient color as well, just like that. Oh, we have to select the background first. Select the gradient color, light blue, and yeah, this color here. Change the degrees of it there, and perfect. All right, so I'll go to File, Export, Save for Web, and save. Make sure the transparency is set. and then I'll say pause button. All right, and just like that, I have my play and pause buttons. So now I'll go back into Adobe Muse. I'll go back into the full screen video widget, click on the widget options, go to play button. For select the play button, I'll click here, and then I'll go to that images folder, and I'll select the play button, and then select the pause button, and I'll say pause button here. And I'll preview in the browser, just like that. And there we have our custom play and pause button. Looks nice. Wow, yeah, I like that button. Looks good. So you can match the styling of your website, or have the play and pause button match the styling of your website. Looks good. All right. So there we have the custom play and pause button. And let's say we wanted this button to be higher within the website and not in the middle. I could go into the widget, and this is another option that's been updated. You can now position it from the top. So 50% is 50% from the top of the website. But let's say I wanted it higher within the website. I could do 20%. And now it'll be higher within the website. So there it is, higher, just like that. And I can resize, and it'll stay 20% within the browser. Looks good. So there you can have it. Let's say you had, let me preview that again. Let's say you had, some content here in the middle of the site, like I did on the preview page, kind of some text. You could have the play button then be above the text, so it doesn't interfere with the text in the middle. So you can position it lower, higher, and the user can click the button and play the video. So we can see, let's picture that being like an iPhone device, and they can play the video, and then the content will be below the video, just like that. Looks good. And this formatting here looks good as well. So like, they could see a nice video and then scroll, and here, or after they click done, they go back to the site and then they scroll, and just like that, we have the video. And on this version of the website, because we're on a browser, we see the video in the background. But if this was a mobile device and it didn't have a poster image, it would just be blank. So we want to make sure that we add a poster image to the widget. So you do want to add at least an MP4 video and a poster image to the widget, so that on devices that don't play automatically, the poster image will show instead. So this is the poster image here now. We see that nice poster image there. Here on the browser, it'll play automatically. Hit refresh, we have the play button, and it'll play the video. All right, looks good. So I think I've gone over all the updates. So let me just kind of review. You do want at least an MP4 video. You do want a poster image, even if it's not going to play on a smaller device. It's a good practice to always have a poster image. So if the device doesn't play video automatically, it'll show the poster image. The overlay, I've placed patternify.com here, so it's easier to access when if you did want to add a mesh overlay. The play button, you can now add your own custom play button. And I didn't go over this, but you can set the width of the play button. So if I wanted the play button to be smaller or larger, I could set the width. So if I set 150 here for the width, the play button would be larger. By default, it's set to 150, but we can see the play button is larger. Doesn't look as good because the initial width was 100 pixels, so I kind of stretched it out a bit. But if I did want it smaller, that would look a little bit better. So I could say 80 pixels by 80 pixels. And the play and pause button width can be different, so you could kind of get creative with that if you'd like. But we see the play and pause button is a bit smaller. Looks good there. All right, so we have that. We can change the width of the play button to be smaller or larger, the play and pause button. We can change the position from the top, so we can have it be more at the top. We can have it be in the center or at the bottom. So it is in percentages. So 50% is in the middle. Anything higher would be higher within the website, anything lower would be lower within the website. Here you can set when you want that play and pause button to appear. You can set the breakpoint of where you want it to appear. The options, you can autoplay, loop the video, mute the audio, and enable resizing, which I do recommend. So it looks good when the user resizes, or if the user decides to resize the browser, or if it's on a smaller device as well. And the breakpoint option here is if you want to disable the video at a certain breakpoint. So once the browser becomes a certain size, the video will no longer be visible. So once the browser is less than 480 pixels in width, the video will not be visible. So let's preview that. And as we can see, we don't have the video. The website goes back to the top because that video is no longer there. But if we were to stretch out the browser, we have the video. If I were to resize, there's the play button. And then at 480, the video is no longer visible. So the website goes back to the top there. All right, looks good. So we can scroll when the video's there and the website appears below the video. We're resizing, we have the play button, and then here at the 480, the video is no longer there. So the website goes back to the top. Okay, so that's for the breakpoint option here. I'll just uncheck this here. So that's it for this video tutorial. Just wanted to go over those new updates. It is a really fun widget if you want to add video to your Adobe Muse website. And then you can have the content appear below. I was gonna make like a video cover widget, but I decided to just update this widget because I do like the functionality of it. And now you could just, if you wanted a video cover, you could just have fixed in browser not checked, and the website will appear below the video. So that's it for this video tutorial. To get access to the responsive full screen video widget, you can go to museforyoushop.com, and here you can click on the pop-up, and here you can click subscribe to get access to all widgets and any new widgets I come out with for $39 a year. Or if you'd like to subscribe with PayPal, you can click here and subscribe with PayPal. The responsive full screen video widget is right here. And here you can click add to cart to purchase individually, or again, you can get access to all widgets and any new widgets I come out with for $39 a year. Here we have the features included, a few of the widget options, the preview page, here's the full screen video, and here's the preview as a video cover. So we have the website below the video, and you can resize, looks good, and then the play button appears on a lower breakpoint. So on tablet and mobile devices, you can play the video as well. Here's the community section if you had any questions about the widget. So that's it for this video tutorial. Again, I do this to help you build awesome websites without code. If you like this video tutorial, you can subscribe below. Also in the show more section below are links to other resources and links to museforyoushop.com. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tutorial. Thank you.